the New England Patriots get more great assistant coaching news. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron. You guys know on the daily pushing out Patriots content for people just like you who can't get enough Patriots football. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below. Now, we know on any football team, there are a plethora of coaches. The coaches you typically know, obviously, are the head coach, the coordinators, but there are also a plethora of positional coaches as well as analysts, both offense, defense, special teams, whatever the heck it might be. There are a lot of football coaches. And the Patriots just got some good news going into this weekend when it comes to some of their positional coaches. 4 of them, actually 6 as of recent, have left the team and will not be returning for the 2025 season. Those being the running back coach, Embry, wide receiver coach Hughes, and Bicknell, who's the tight ends coach. Now, there's another one who's the assistant wide receiver coach. But the reason this is good is, again, the biggest issues for the Patriots were stalling on offense. The issues on offense when it came to, one, you look at the wide receiver room, and Kendrick Bourne went into the season hurt, obviously the projected number 1. Tyquan Thornton, people were like, oh, is there a potential that he could be number 1? He's ended up dropped from the team. And then they pick up KJ Osborne, who was with the Vikings. Hey, does he have a lot of potential? Yeah, he could. Let's see what happens. That was also a disaster. Juju Smith-Schuster, another disaster. Oddly enough, he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he is still in play in the moment. But that being said, and I'm not pointing all the fingers at Tyler Hughes, but you look at the whole situation and you say to yourself, hey, what is going on, and what can we do to move on from this past regime under Gerard Mayo? So I think this is just good, seeing, hey, they're clearing house. These people got to go. Mike Vrabel, bring in the guys you want. So again, when it comes to positional coaches, wide receiver specifically, we talked about Wes Welker. Who would you like to see wide receiver coach? Wes Welker, someone else? Comment below. Would love to hear from you. Next, some other good news from the Patriots. This is kind of obscure news, but I would say it's definitely good news. But the Patriots will avoid having to play a game overseas in London, Berlin, wherever it might be overseas, which is I think is big. Just because, one, I personally am not a huge fan of those games. You wake up, it's at 9 o'clock. It's just I get they're trying to spread football all over the place. I understand that, but I like my games, Eastern Standard Time, whether that's the 1 o'clock slate, the mid game, or the Sunday night. That's what I like. I'm an easy guy, and I don't need to be having the games over in Europe somewhere where I have to wake up and it's a 9 o'clock game, because that just feels weird, does not feel right. So again, it's just big news. Now, there is a possibility that they still play somewhere, possibly in Mexico or Brazil. So we will see moving forward with that. But again, just big news for the Patriots that they don't have to deal with that. Last but not least, we're kind of, when it comes to news for the Patriots right now, it's kind of in a stagnant right now. But we know, hey, who are some players that the potential they could be going after? Obviously, we've talked about T. Higgins. That's a very interesting one. But this next one I think is more interesting is Ronnie Stanley. Now, he will be a free agent with the Ravens. Offensive tackle, it's what the Patriots need, offensive tackle. And we know right now we're in a situation where how are the dominoes going to fall in the offseason leading up to the draft? Because however the dominoes fall, we know that is how the draft will be handled, and that's how we'll figure out the draft. So Ronnie, I don't see him really leaving the Ravens, especially with the situation he's in. I think they're going to pay him. 30 years old, I think he still has one solid contract left in him. So we will see. Again, could he be pulled from there? Possibly, but again, I don't see that happening. Josh Sweat, edge rusher from the Eagles. I think that's another situation where it's like, hey, you got it good with the Eagles. Why in the world are you going to leave? But we need an edge rusher, and that's another thing that I feel like in some form or fashion I think will be addressed in the draft, but that would be good. Zack Tom from the Packers. Again, all these teams are teams that besides T. Higgins, because T. Higgins at some point have said like, hey, I think he has a desire to, again, be that number one. But Zack Tom, when you look at him, I think it's, hey, I got a good in Green Bay, got potential with Jordan Love here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type mentality. Again, that's my thought. But a lot of these guys too are, they want to get paid. They want a lot of money. So again, underrated lineman would be interesting to see. But again, is it worth taking a shot on him or drafting someone? Last but not least, I think this is an interesting part of the article, just having Abdul Carter. So I would assume based on, again, whoever you get, a lot of people say Abdul Carter is potentially the best player in this draft. I don't know. You could go. I guess it's all dependent on what you've seen personally. It's all subjective based on what people have watched of college football. But again, Abdul Carter, you get a top end edge rusher. I think that would be huge. And there's a possibility again that he only jumps up the rankings. And a lot of people again have him at number one. So you never know. So, again, comment below. What do you think about the assistant coaches gone? What do you think about the Patriots not playing overseas? I think that's, again, another big one. And then, again, players that, again, pique your interest. Biggest thing, pique your interest. So, comment below. Let me know what you think. Again, my name is Aaron. Patriots content on the daily. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.